Howdy everybody, this is Bo Davis with Carolina Historical Fencing Association, and as you know, Midlands Madness 2024 is coming up April 19th through the 21st, and this video here is to cover the main 30 points that I've made to kind of cover longsword and combat longsword. So this video here is kind of like your video guide to the rules. I recommend you still read the rules because I'm not including everything from the rules in there. We'd be here for hours if that was the case. Starting with number one, weapons check. So whenever you get checked in, whether it's the morning, afternoon, whatever, we're gonna have set times for whenever you get your weapons checked. You'll take it over to a table, it'll get a sticker put on it, and then your weapon will be checked. Point two, before the fights, before any tournament, we're gonna do a briefing of the rules. So if you didn't read the rules or if you didn't watch this video, I'm extremely disappointed in you, but I'll express that in the briefing. Number three, everyone has 3 lives for these tournaments, so that assures everyone has at least 3 fights, right? So it's based off elimination. If you lose your 3 lives, you're out. Number 4, all rounds are 2 minutes long. Number 5, the car wash. Everyone's like, what is the car wash? So whenever you come out on the mat beforehand, the referee will come up to you, he will check you from toe to head and make sure you have the approved weapon sticker before you enter the field, or else you will not be able to fight. If you do not have all the requirements for gear, which we will go over in just a second, then you will not be allowed to fight. Number 6, continuous fighting. We're going to be fighting under a continuous fighting format, so you're not going to see the judges break too much in between. There's not going to be a long time pause in between breaks. It's not going to be a full reset. Fencers may reset themselves enough and space out so that the judge, or referee rather, doesn't have to step in. Number 7, double suck. You're not going to score anything, don't do it. Number 8, scoring. So your arms and legs are going to be worth 1 point each. Your head and torso are going to be worth 2 points each. Now, pommel strikes, 1 point each. And then grapples that end in a dominant position. So if you take someone to the ground and you land, you're in a dominant position, 1 point. Number 9, grapples will proceed until the sword is used successfully or you land in a dominant position / the momentum of the fight is kind of stopped. Whoever's landed on top is going to get the points for that. Number 10, for longsword, for just regular longsword that is, we're just doing kind of like Raleigh Open's rules. A lot of our rules are based on Raleigh Open's rules. It was a good slate to kind of go through and take in and remove what we want and do not want and help it model everything else going forward. So with that, in the regular longsword tournament, while grappling is allowed, it's still limited to takedowns only. So if both your opponent's feet leave the ground, that is a violation of the rules. Number 11, pommel strikes should not smash people, cave their helmets in, concuss them, etc. Number 12, and I will show it behind me in just a moment here, but we have a padded wall. The padded wall is not up now that I look behind me, but the padded wall is going to be on this side, and you will be able to grapple against it, fight against it, etc., etc. Number 13, if you get shitty with an official, like a referee, a judge, etc., or another fighter after a fight, before, during, after, I call this the asshole rule. If you're an asshole, that is a red card. You are gone. Number 14, 3 yellow cards make a red card after review. Same thing with a red card. If you get an instant red card for whatever you did, it all gets reviewed first. Number 15, turning the back of your head is not a penalty. Hitting someone in the back of the head is a penalty, but turning the back of your head, unless excessive and, on purpose, pretty much if you do it blatantly, you're going to get carded for that. I like to say the penalty for turning the back of your head is getting hit in the back of the head. Number 16, don't strike a disarmed opponent. Number 17, do not strike with the cross guard. Number 18, do not throw your swords. Number 19, when in a grapple, no joint manipulations or chokes allowed. Number 20, gear requirements. It took us a while to get here, but here we are, number 20, right? Approved sword, right? Make sure you go to weapons check at the weapons check time. It'll be a long range. Like you'll have 2 hours to get your weapons checked before a tournament. Bare feet are allowed on the mats. Wrestling shoes that are clean are also allowed if that makes you more comfortable. We're requiring rigid shin and knee protection, arms and elbow protection. You have to have a HEMA jacket, right? 350 newtons puncture resistance or more. Rigid gorget, groin protection, mask with the back and head protection. And then obviously gauntlets. Number 21, combat longsword. So this is kind of when we start discussing everything that has to do with combat longsword going forward here. Everything from before still kind of applies unless I say something else. But the difference with the grappling is that you don't have to lift just one leg off the ground. You can fully throw people, right? There's a couple of band moves that we're gonna go over in a minute. But for the most part, grappling is free range. Now we're also introducing striking into it, and we're not looking to concuss each other, injure each other, cave each other's helmets in, anything like that. We're allowing punches to the front, side, and front of the body, right? So front side of the mask, front of the body, kicks and knees to the front of the body, right? And that goes for front kicks and knees only. If you do a side kick, no. Do a round kick, no. Also with the striking, it's new. We're trying something new. This is an experiment. So make sure you're watching your own force while you do this. Link to this, you may have already seen the teaser video for Combat Longsword, but I'll link kind of what it should look like, right? It's still a tussle. People are still punching, they're kneeing, right? I don't have any kicks on film right now, but you can see how that actually looks in a fight through this. That's a stop fight. Yeah.
I still lost the glove.
So now you see kind of what we expect. Anything more than that is too much. None of the strikes count for points, right? So you're allowed to do these strikes, but we're recommending you use the tool to score. Number 22, how to win a grapple on the ground, right? You have the option of a 10-second pin, so both of their shoulders and back pinned on the mat for 10 seconds. You get the option of a ground and pound, so about 5 or 6 consecutive punches before everything stops. And then submissions, and submissions count as a total victory for the match. Number 23, ground and pound victories and pin victories are 1 point each, but that doesn't stop you from getting the point from a throw. Number 24, don't crank submissions, don't overextend submissions, don't even think about completing a submission, right? All these submissions are to just be put into place. If you apply a little bit of pressure, that's fine to secure it, but do not crank it past the point of securing it. The referee will stop the fight when he sees the submission or when the opponent is tapping. With that, arm bars and knee bars are the only approved submissions for the tournament. Now, back to what I said about cranking, right? Luckily I have a flexi sword here, right? If I have the sword in a hold and I'm holding it, well, it looks like the sword would break maybe if I, cranked, put my hips forward back enough. You see the sword flexing now, right? No good. Don't do that to people's arms, please. Number 25, no suplexes and no scissor sweeps. Now when people hear scissor sweep and BJJ, they're thinking on the ground. What I mean is this. Here, right? I'm putting pressure on the knees here to get the ankle sweep. This causes injuries. Please don't do this, right? Okay, from this side, don't do that there either, right? If you do want to do a throw like that, you can remove this leg from it and do, it's called Tani Atoshi, where I'm just sweeping at the Achilles here, but do not put any pressure against the knees with the legs like this, right? Number 26, don't slam people into the walls and don't throw them into the wall. Number 27, pommel strikes don't stop the action, but they still rack up 1 point each, right? So this is probably going to be the most controversial of all of them because someone can get in and rack up a bunch of points. And that's kind of the point is you're using the tool, right? And you're not trying to fall with an excessive force. Like you still have to land a moderate amount of force for it to connect. Like if you just do this, we're not counting 1 point each. If you're landing, right, solid, steady, nothing excessive, you 1 point each. The point of this is that people aren't just going to sit there and let you pommel strike them in the face, hopefully. Number 28, and I think I said this earlier already, but both feet can leave the ground in a grapple when you're lifting your opponent. Number 29, in the result of an injury, we're going to take a 2-minute break before continuing the bout if the injured party can still continue. Number 30, the ref is the ultimate authority. Please listen to the referees. They're trying to keep you safe and they're trying to keep the tournament running smoothly. So please be respectful of your referees. Please do not give them shit. You have the ability to appeal. You have the ability to appeal if you disagree with a decision, but anything past that is just hounding on it. So don't do that. We're trying to give our officials the least hard of a time that we can, and that's all 30. They're fighting now, so you guys take it easy. I'm looking forward to seeing you at Midlands Madness 2024.